the suppression of the use of marijuana and of the forces lurking behind it are the most important jobs this department is now engaged in. In 1930, the records on marijuana in the Washington office of the Narcotics Division scarcely filled a small folder like this. Today, they fill cabinets.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, Coloradians and everyone that's smart enough to listen from the outside.
One of the most amazing plants we've ever discovered.
The pot party, the trippers, the grasshoppers, the hip ones, all gathered in secrecy and flying high as a kite.
I got weed pots.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another season of Stoned Appetit. With your hosts, as always, it's me, Kip, and to my left I got CB. How are you today, CB?
Doing great, man. We're kicking off season 3. We got a lot of heaters coming up.
Yeah, our guest list this season is it's second to none. The only way it would be better is if we got Guy Fieri to join us for an episode.
One day.
Yeah, one day. But in the meantime, we have a star-studded episode coming to y'all today. As y'all have probably seen on our social media page, we've been all about the natural wine craze, phase, whatever it may be. But we're trying to learn more and more about it. And so we continue to ask folks from all types of industries and varietals to join us and tell us a little bit more about it. So this afternoon you'll have a great episode with Paul Lysek and Benny Bloom from Benny and Zoid Wine Selections here in Denver. But before we get into that, we wanted to kind of tell y'all a little bit about how Season 3 is going to be different than Season 2. Season 3, we're going to give y'all a little bit more content between the two of us. Y'all oftentimes ask us questions of what's going on around the city, where y'all should eat, things along those lines. So we're going to start breaking the episode up into two different parts. The first part of the episode will be Chris and I talking about what's going on in Denver for this week, as well as, what happened last week. Give shout-outs to local companies, restaurants that may be killing it. We tried out the Redeemer Pizza last week as well. So we want to give you all these up-to-date information through the podcast as well, so we can kind of help promote live music, promote restaurants, all of that. So we're going to start doing that. One new thing we're going to also do, in addition to asking the guests some fun new questions, is we're going to also start kind of a little challenge. I think we saw everybody last year kind of during COVID for content purposes, we're looking to draft things, Mount Rushmore shit. Well, we kind of came up with a different way to do it. Since there's usually just two of us in the studio, we're going to call ours the High Five, where we're going to have a competition each week where we'll do a draft of certain things. Maybe one week it's a battle of the streets or the neighborhoods, where we put up what we think are the best parts of those neighborhoods or highlight local businesses that are doing wondrous work. But we're also going to put them up on social media and have y'all vote on who has a deeper lineup, so to speak.
Yeah, get a little connection there.
Yeah, so we're going to spread the good word about businesses that are in the area that are doing great things. But we thought, what better way to kick off this whole new segment than at least first giving a shout out to our new sponsors.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, so we're fired up. We're not leaving Callie's Cannabis. We love Charles. We love the family over there that are doing the great things at Callie's Cannabis. But obviously with new seasons, as it is autumn, there's also new businesses that need promoting. And so we're excited to announce that we're teaming up with Seed & Smith as well, a cannabis company that's based out of the Green Mile right off I-70. They've been guests on the podcast in the past. Damn near 2 years ago, Chris, I think we went out there.
That was a long time ago,
yeah,
it seems like.
It was a good time, no less. But they're also opening up a brand new location up in Louisville. You've seen us talk about, the different burbs that are partying, and that's one that we're really excited about. It seems that Louisville's got a really cool crowd that's going on. It's very young. And so Seed & Smith wanted to plant their roots in another young up-and-coming neighborhood in the Denver metro area. So they have a new location that is opening. It's actually open today. So as you listen to this on Tuesday, it's already open. It's at the corner. It's at 1413 Hecla Way in Is it Louisville or Louisville?
I always go back and forth with that, and I get confused because
we're Southerners, and we grew up near Kentucky, so you think
and
of
that's Louisville, Kentucky.
That's the most prominent one, but I think it's Louisville in our situation.
I think it is Louisville.
So they're up at 1413 Hecla Way in Louisville. We're going to be up there doing a bunch of stuff, whether it be coffee meet and greets at Precision Pours or Moxie Bread for some baked dankness in the mornings, or if it's happy hour at Pour or date night in Babusta. There's so many great things going on up there. So for those that are listening or for those that have seen us on social media, if you're up in the Louisville area and you're grabbing dinner or checking out the cool, hip, Old Town vibe they have, swing through the new Seed & Smith dispensary. They grow all their flower here. They have killer pens. I think y'all seen me smoking their pens. They have the Dart, but they also have killer 510 thread cartridges as well. And as we say this, they have a pretty big announcement that's coming down the pike with one of our favorite jam band bands in the area. So get ready. They have a lot of cool stuff going on, one of which being they are one of our sponsors here on the podcast. So welcome to the team, guys. We're excited to be working with y'all. We're excited to know that y'all are opening up new locations across the area. All right, Chris, you ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, for the first high five challenge, we're doing Colfax versus Federal Boulevard. So what we're going to do is we have 5 different topics. We're going to do happy hour / dive bar, restaurant / date night, weed shop of choice on that road, your cheap eats location, and because we are Colorado, and I may not be the biggest beer guy, but we'll do a brewery as well. I almost tipped my hand there on who my brewery is, but we're going to save it off. But I'm going to give Chris first pick. Chris is going to be batting on behalf of Team Colfax, while I will be batting on behalf of Team Federal. Chris, round 1, pick one. Go for it.
Okay, I guess let's kick it off with restaurants or date night.
Okay.
On Colfax right now, I'd like to see, and this is something that I just want to try. Again, I've been there. But, we don't pick favorites, so I'm just shooting from the hip. I'm going to say date night or restaurant. I'm going to go with To The Wind Bistro.
Okay, Chris, so that was my worry because that is a very, very good call. It's a great restaurant. It's kind of bunkered right there next to Bluebird Theater.
Yeah.
So it almost like if you weren't looking for it, you would pass it. But they have an exceptional vibe for date night, and they are killing it.
And it's very tiny. They have a very small menu. But date night, you're willing to spend a little bit more. Their cocktails are crazy good. Most all of their menu offerings are great when I've been there. And I believe they have like a limited kind of hours of operation. I think they may be open Wednesday to Sunday or something like that. But check that out. And they do all kinds of different events. But definitely keep an eye on that place. And it's one of those quaint little spots, like if you weren't looking for it, you wouldn't find it.
Yeah, and it's that's one of those that I don't know if it's insider knowledge or industry knowledge, but I think it's very well respected in those that are also in the restaurant industry. So if you're looking for a delicious place that's kind of nestled away, great date night vibe, I was worried you're going to pick that, and that's a great one. All right, so this is my go-to restaurant on Federal. Now, obviously, date night can mean different things for everybody, and when I say this restaurant, most people are going to say, oh, well, Kip, that's not dinner ideas. I'm going with Star Kitchen. I know that everyone thinks of it as the dim sum, but everyone's like, oh, what a plain Jane Americana pick. No, I have a different location for dim sum. You go off the menu at Star Kitchen, which shout out to Chef Tommy, who kind of put me on some stuff. They have some excellent, authentic Chinese dishes, and it's by no means like the $4.50 stamp, like fucking pork shumai. We're talking real dank, creative, authentic Chinese dishes. Whole fish that are coming out. I know Fat Guy's a believer in as well. But oftentimes when people think Star Kitchen, they're thinking that 11 a.m. dim sum brunch. No, go in there.
There's more to it.
Oh man, they are so deep. They have a deep lineup. Like their menu, obviously, I don't know most of those things, so I had to get some assistance in that category, so to speak, but that is my jam. I think that if you can kind of go zig when everyone else zags, as well as instead of like I've done the beckon date night kind of concept, but if you kind of can make something glorious out of kind of a strip mall style dinner and maybe go through the market that's next door, you can really put off a real sexy vibe by kind of knowing the lay of the land, which I don't, but I can fake it really well.
Hell yeah, and you can figure out, let's say you're going on like this is maybe date number 2, date number 3.
Exactly.
You can figure out how adventurous that other person is.
That's very huge because you may find out that you're just hanging out with someone that only eats fried chicken and mashed potatoes, which I love those things. But you're right. Will they eat the tripe or the chicken feet. Those are obviously the cliche kind of exoticas. But the fisheye that comes out in the full fish. You know, like, are you deterred by some gills and some skeleton?
I like to say, are you willing to go like Andrew Zimmerman style, you know, when he, what was that show he used to have, like where he ate just crazy shit?
When Zimmerman's, what was that
I
show?
forgot what it was. But every time, like, I think about, like, maybe I won't try this. It's a little weird.
Bizarre Foods?
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. And I've heard that he's kind of a prick, but he's also supports like a lot of like local and divey restaurants. So, hey, Andrew, if you want to come on, I know you've said some choice words about people of Minnesota, but we'll have you here on this podcast here. So that's a good call. Yeah. You know, and I wouldn't say that it's like a flex, but when you're like, let's go somewhere that's not sexy, like, oh, wear jeans and flip-flops, we're going to be fine.
Yeah.
That's my vibe.
Nice.
All right, so you had round one, pick one. We did date night. So this is going to be, I'm going next round for happy hour divey vibes. And I think some folks are really going to respect this. Some people may be like, what the fuck's this guy talking about? It's Columbine Steakhouse, Chris. It's a cash-only, no-frills steakhouse on the side of Federal. It's kind of more blue-collar restaurant. You pay like $22. You get the steak. It's cooked one of two ways, either rare or not rare. You get a baked potato and a Cisco salad. But on the other side of the wall is a bar that only cash-only as well. They're selling $2.50 beers, Chris. Me and Fat Guy went in there, $10 to get you 4 Budweisers. I'm telling you, it's a divey of a restaurant/bar as you can find in this city that still holds its character. He's not going to let somebody come in and like gentrify his neighborhood or whatever. And I couldn't tell you the exact cross streets, but I'd just tell you it's the diviest restaurant/bar, and it's just separated by one measly little wall that's like where the kitchen is. So.
I didn't know they had a bar.
Oh yeah, and you just walk right around. It's where the ATM is, and there's, you know, they kind of got that. It's got that carpet, you know, that like smells of like 1980s cigarettes,
Nice.
but also roller rink, like vomit. That's kind of the vibe in there. But that's it's kind of a sleeper of a bar scene. But you go for lunch, you stay for the show, kind of vibe.
Heard.
All right, so give me your happy hour divey spot on Colfax.
Okay, so I haven't been there in quite some time, but I'm gonna go with the Squire Lounge.
You went with Squire over
Yeah.
Lions Lair, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I harp on Lions Lair a lot, or I feel like I've said stuff about that quite a bit. They've got a lot going on. But the Squire, you know, it's still nice outside. We got a couple more months of good kind of patio stuff. And so they've got a decent little patio on the outside, great people watching. And I've noticed it's kind of one of those spots, like, you can go grab a couple beers, and it's a lot of, like, working crew people, you know, coming down Colfax, getting off the bus stop right there. But I've gone there. I've seen some little local bands play or whatever, happen to be there and catch one. But, you know, if you go with a couple buddies, grab some beers and stuff, it's not a bad spot.
No, I like that. And I actually was scootering by the other day, fairly blackout drunk, and the patio was popping. It was probably closer to 12-ish. I don't even know. I mean, honestly, it's kind of browned out. But the vibe was on 100. And then, fun fact, also at 6 a.m., there's a fair amount of people that are still asleep on that patio from not patrons, but just folks that have slept on the patio. So, you know, it's a wide variety, but that's what you look for in a dive spot. I thought you were going to say Lions Lair also because of what you encountered and witnessed the other day.
Oh, yeah. Monday nights is open mic comedy night.
At Lions Lair, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, I know that that's a diversion from your happy hour dive spot, and you have to pick your vote based off of these two, like his final 5. The Lions Lair won't make it. It's an honorable mention. But, yeah, they do open night, comedy night at the Lions Lair, so we're going to have to do some video contents over there.
Yeah, and if you happen to catch one, let us know.
Yeah, and seriously, shoot us a DM. We're not that far away. If we know that there's, you know, power in numbers, safety in numbers, maybe I'll fucking come down there. I'll wear my loafers and come on down.
Right, bring some Cali cards.
Yeah. Shout out to our friends over at Cali's. They have great locations peppered across the metro area. All right, Chris, that was a really good one. I like that answer for you. So you went round 1 and 2, so you get to start round 3.
Okay, what's round 3 again?
Do you want to do weed shops, cheap eats, or brewery?
Let's go cheap eats.
Okay, Chris, we're going cheap eats, Colfax edition. Who you got?
All right.
No chains, because otherwise, Popeyes.
Yeah, it's a toss-up between 2, but Right now, I'm gonna go with tacos y pupusas.
Okay.
It's,
I know you're talking the one with the little, like, you can just walk into the glass and it's like almost like the old
Yeah,
Pizza Hut
it's very
symbol.
small.
Yeah, it looks like the entrance to the DMV.
Yeah, you order out a window, and then